Welcome to Hug Nation Live. We have just hit live, and so as we take a moment for the digital ripples to hit all the places, get us connected, get us into your home, into your phone, into your ears and eyes. Hello, I am John Halcyon Stinn. This is Hug Nation Live. Hug Nation began in 2001. It was a weekly broadcast that I hosted with my grandfather, Grandpa Caleb Sheichels, the Reverend Caleb Sheichels. And for a weekly until he died, we did a show, and then I did it weekly for the next 20 something years. And now I do a daily broadcast of connection and gratitude. So thanks for being here. Thanks for adding your stuff to the mix. Dave, are you still here? Good morning, Dave. What a pleasure to connect with you on this day. One of the points of this is just as a reminder each day that we are surrounded by like-minded, open-hearted people. So easy to get caught scrolling or news doom mainlining and start to feel like, man, this world is filled with terrible people. And there's some people that have worldviews that are quite different than yours, I'm sure. And that is a source of much frustration. But don't let that become the narrative, because there's also incredible people, open-hearted, loving, kind, generous people. So as we allow that version of ourselves to lead and to resonate in the world, it invites that resonance from others. It gives permission to others. Two strangers walking by each other on the street, the default is look down. But if you're the one that goes, good morning, the first time you say it, that person might go, the second time they might go, good morning. And then a week later, you're saying good morning to each other. And that has deep effects on the way that we continue to put those ripples in the world. So I invite you to step into your role as love ambassador in the teeny tiniest of ways, and whenever you have the opportunity, in big ways. Good morning. I would love to hear what you are grateful for. Welcome, Pockets. Welcome, Dawn. And welcome, Bill. Bill says, hello, all you beautiful humans. What are you grateful for, Bill? What are you grateful for? Dave or Rocio, Bo Devin, or anyone who's here would love to hear and share what you're grateful for. Christina is here, and she says, grateful to make new memories with friends. Celebrated a friend's birthday and a going away party, and it was so much fun. Thank you for sharing. Oh, I just realized on the screen I have a clip from a podcast released today. My beloved Lisa, the leader of the Wholehearted Chorus, and she just started a podcast called A Song for All of Us that you can find on Spotify and Apple and the places. And I was episode 6, and we talked about the overall theme of her podcast is an accompaniment to the chorus series. And that theme is finding harmony within conflict, or creating harmony within a world with so much conflict. And so we talked about that from a more how our relationship is a classroom for that. But it's a really good episode. It went live this morning. And if you were in San Diego or Monterey, I really encourage you to go to the concert. If you buy a ticket and you don't like it, I will give you your money back. Or if you want to go, but the ticket is too expensive for you, I think it's $25. I will let me know, and I will give you a partial scholarship to come, because I think that it is such a beautiful experience. It's so much more than I thought it was going to be. And you'll get to see my first time ever singing on a stage. Now, I will be with 80 to 150 other singers, including Lisa, who's incredible, and Ma Muse, the recording artists, who are incredible. But 80 to 120 voices is like, And the songs that Lisa's picked and the ones, oh, so good. Dawn says, I'm grateful for my home that shelters my family for 21 years. Creating harmony in a world of conflict. I'm just going to play just this clip from our podcast because I think it's adorable.
I am doing something I've never done before today. I am being joined on this podcast by my very own fiance. So, full disclaimer, we really like each other and we cannot hold any truly objective bias about the value of each other's words. So we'll leave that to you.
Well, you are objectively awesome. So even if I didn't love you, I would still be listening to your podcast.
This is a song for all of
us. So I hope that you consider, if you're near San Diego or Monterey, San Diego concert is Tuesday, and then Monterey is on the 22nd of this month. And if you're nowhere near those places or you can't do that, check out the podcast. If you're a fan of the Gene Keys, there's a thread of relating each song to the Gene Keys. And Lisa interviewed or had a conversation with Richard Rudd, author of the Gene Keys, as episode 3, I believe, on the podcast, or maybe it was 2. Hey, where is Jill now? Welcome, Nicole. Anyone else want to share something that you are feeling grateful for? I am grateful. I am grateful for my Wikipedia page, specifically the state it's in right now. 20 years ago, I think, if I can remember correctly, I think my Wikipedia page was created by someone who was trying to hurt me. And it was full of things that I had done related to the porn industry. I had a chapter in my life when I did marketing for an adult company, and I was involved with my own projects that were art-based erotica that was trying to be a tool of societal change, working against shame around sexuality. And I was proud of all those things, but listed in a Wikipedia page and the way they did it, it sucked. And then, you delete something off Wikipedia page and undo, they put it back. And so over the years, I've been slowly editing or adjusting the wording so it's not quite so bad, and adding things so that other projects, so that it is a little more fleshed out and balanced. But I mean, I did, 10 years ago, I was uninvited from speaking at a high school twice, where I was invited to speak to young people. And then a parent got to my Wikipedia page and said, wait, he was involved with sponsoring the Masturbate-a-thon? What's that? God forbid a grown-up that at some point in their life spoke openly and honestly about sexuality might have an interaction with their 18-year-old child and be unable to contain the sexual parts of their life. Like, if at any point in your life you are open about your sexuality, as soon as you see a kid, you're like, I have to get naked and talk about sex. Like, it's crazy, but it was a different time. Now we have presidents who are openly having sexual relationships with porn stars outside of wedlock. At least all of the sex in all of my life has been consensual. Welcome, Ellie and Vice City and Candy and anyone who's here. I would love to hear what you are grateful for. Hello, High Noon. High Noon says, great to be here with you all with a furry pal I'm taking care of as their dad is on vacation. I'm grateful for the walks and being present with this being. Thank you for sharing. I am a non-pet owner. I'm a houseplant enthusiast, but not a pet owner. And I love hearing about people's relationships with animals. So thank you for sharing. I am also grateful for some pictures and videos that Amy sent me yesterday of Asher. Asher is my 6.5-year-old bio son. I'm a sperm donor and I'm in his life. He's going to be visiting for Christmas. We video chat. I sometimes make videos for him. In fact, if you've seen me do any of the Hug Monster puppetry, that's all been a project as a little way to have a bond, a different kind of bond with my boy. He calls me Bada for Bio Dad. I am not raising him. I'm not parenting. Amy is his parent. I am just Bio Dad and a male figure that loves him very much. But yesterday she sent me photos. He decided he decided to give his paintings away to his neighbors. So he set up all these, child paintings. They're on canvases. They're pretty rad. And he was walking around and in the streets, and giving away his art to people. Really, really beautiful. I wonder if I can actually, hold on. Let me see if this would work. Nope. Did not work. Okay. I could show you. Okay, this is back when I was embracing sexuality and trying to show shame-free sex. It's just so weird to talk about now, but I'm proud of all of it. I didn't do anything outside of my values, but I lived in a webcam house for 2 years, and we did some events to try to make sexuality more open, like using webcams. We had these kind of digital group sex experiences where everyone would have sex at the same time or masturbate at the same time in front of webcams. And the idea was to raise this energy of connection and love and beauty and openness. And it got a little bit of traction, and MTV did a documentary about us. And so they followed us around for a week, and then they did this documentary. Let's see if this works.
I'm very aware that we're pushing boundaries. This is not normal to live like this. People are used to having privacy. People are used to having private time. Sex is a private thing. People will tell us that. Sex is something sacred and private. Okay, those are very different, sacred and private. Church is sacred, it's not private. It's unfortunate that if something is sacred, meaning core to your existence, that it should be something that we have to hide and be ashamed of.
Look at that. Me preaching shame-free sexuality and public sexuality on MTV back in the day. It's a very different life now for me. That was an important chapter of liberation for me, and now liberation is through committed relationship. Good morning, Julie. Where is Jill says, grateful to be celebrating 54 years today, cancer-free, and a survivor of abuse, healing and empowering my neurodivergent brain. Bravo. Well done. Well done. Thanks for sharing. I am also grateful. I mentioned I'm grateful that I'm on Lisa's podcast today. I'm grateful that I've been putting extra effort into the Hug Nation podcast. So if you didn't know, there's also a podcast where I take sometimes the highlights of these morning broadcasts. Next week, I'm going to be uploading a interview that I did with Grandpa Caleb that has, I don't think, ever been heard before. It's really good. So go to hugnation.com or look up Hug Nation on iTunes or Apple Podcasts or Spotify. And please subscribe to Hug Nation. And Stay Sparked, which is the also podcast that I'm proud of that I do with Betsy. Welcome. I am Lana Shea. Anybody want to share something they're grateful for? I'm grateful for a date night last night with my beloved Lisa. We went to see One Battle After Another, I think that's what it's called. One Battle After Another. Didn't know much about it, but it was getting great reviews. And what I'm really grateful for is just having a date night with Lisa. We got dinner beforehand and had just a really beautiful, deep conversation. She said, if I could sum up in 2 words each what we are here to teach one another. You're here to teach me to relax more or enjoy more. And I'm here to teach you to care more. It's like, whew. So maybe I will keep chewing on that and have a longer, deeper discussion to that conversation and what it meant. Lisa packs her life with work that is healing and adding to vibrations of healing and love. 3 jobs basically, and every one of them is totally of service, totally, and she's so committed, and she does. So I'm so inspired, but she's also like running on, like in the red, on empty, like always pushing. Whereas I'm kind of like, hey, I did a broadcast at 9 a.m. I'm doing a gratitude circle at noon. I'm going to make a video throughout the day. I'm going to do maybe a couple coaching calls this week. Hey, I'm heading in the direction of good. What's the problem? And so we had this long discussion about how do you stay inspired to push and be of service to maximize your potential without falling into attachment to outcome or like disappointment for not doing more. One of my struggles is like, I now have 3 podcasts that I'm doing. I don't promote them that much. I do this every day. It doesn't get, I've been doing it for 4 or 5 years. And like, I could spend more energy marketing. And so I got to chew on this more, but really like the takeaway for me, or that what I kind of landed on after this pretty like deep conversation was, I think it's less that I need to do more. It's that I need to figure out how fear is keeping me from marketing more. And how can I change my either view around marketing or see marketing in the same way that I have been viewing choir practice, which is that I know it makes me feel uncomfortable. So rather than avoid that feeling of discomfort, know that the only way to grow is to go into that discomfort and push myself through commitments and a recognition of growth path, and even like a pride in the growth path. Like I'm proud that I have stuck it through with 6 months of chorus practice, and that I have a performance on Tuesday night. And if you're just joining us, Tuesday night in San Diego, it's incredible. 100 people are going to be singing, including me and my beloved and my mom's in the choir. Dawn says, interesting life. Love your energy. I need to find you at a first Saturday. Yes, please. Every first Saturday, we do a little homeless outreach in San Diego. It's a big homeless outreach. I won't be there this November because I will be at my uncle's memorial, but please join us. And if you're super curious about my life, go on Amazon and look up my name. I have a book called Protagonist that highlights 50 of the projects that I've done in the first 50 years of my life. And it gives you a peek at, you will have questions, but it answers a lot as well. Dawn also says, I'm grateful for a goodwill in Poway that happily takes my items I no longer need and gives them new life to others. Beautiful. Lisa says, my hair looks amazing. Thank you. I've been getting like my Facebook memories pop up, and I'm quite convinced that this is not the most flattering look for me. I like it, and it's got character, but thank goodness Lisa, my beloved Lisa, not you, Lisa, is in love with the wholeness of me, not just my facade. Julie shares, I'm grateful for the teachings I've learned in the last few days during the integration of my super self-care sacred journey on Thursday. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. That's inspiring. Hello, Juan. Lisa says, I'm grateful my BFF Kel came over. We stayed up all night, music, talking, reminiscing, and planning our trip to Florida. Yay! Juan is grateful for the wonderful colors of fall in June. Oh, June Lake, California. Oh, super cool. I'm going to go here for another like 5 minutes more. Lisa is doing a live broadcast right now as well to a private community that she and I are a part of. And I'm going to go join her, and we're going to sing a song. One of the songs that I've been practicing and that we will be performing on Tuesday. Please go watch or go check out the episode today of A Song for All of Us. Actually, will that work? Can I type this in? Will that show up? Will that show up? I don't know where that shows up. Does that show up on Facebook? I think it shows up on YouTube, but asongforallofus.org is where you can find Lisa's podcast where she interviews Richard Rudd, and today, me. I'm trying to get it like a letter writing campaign. I really want to do a podcast with Lisa, and maybe also with her friend Alexis. Alexis and Lisa did a episode, I think 3 or 4 of their podcast. Lisa's podcast is with Alexis, and I think the 3 of us would be awesome. Dawn says, I think you look like wisdom. Your hair speaks to where you are, and your white and gray look tells me you are in a calm, receiving space. Thank you. I think I feel that way too. I feel like it is totally integrated to this chapter I'm in of transitioning from a youthful definition of freedom to a wiser, more grounded definition of freedom. And some of that is letting go of vanity, letting go of the need to feel young and hot. You know, I still like to feel sexy, but it's a different type of sexy now. But like I was looking at I have a photo of my Burning Man outfits through the years, and it's like pink superhero, pink superhero, pink superhero, pink superhero, wise old wizard. Like, okay. I still haven't made it public. I made a video that now I want to redo it now that I even look more wizardy. But months ago when I first started growing the beard out, someone said, you look like a wizard with Riz. You're a wizard. Thank you, Christina. Dawn says it's Zeus sexy. Yeah, I like that. I'm going for that like biblical bad boy look. Mingle's here. I love you too, Mingle. Juan is also grateful for family time with my wife and 15-year-old boy. That beats time no matter where the location. Welcome, Core Visions. Any last minute gratitudes anyone wants to share? I want to send my appreciation to you for being a part of this day for all of us, for allowing ourselves to force ourselves out of any rut narrative of a dangerous, closed, unkind world, knowing that everybody here is the exceptions to that rule. Therefore, the rule cannot exist. So the world is filled with all types of people, including open-hearted, kind, loving people like you. And part of the conversation I had with Lisa was like, while I do recognize that I could do more with my time on this planet, that I think I feel really good about the way I do spend my energy. Like I put my energy towards a higher vibration of the heart. And I think that's all you can do, especially after watching this movie last night that was about revolution and violent revolution. And it felt like an affirmation, a confirmation that there is work to be done in this world. And my role is in being a part of raising vibration of the heart, less so than it is about fighting in the physical realm. Julie says, I'm bringing sexy back. That was poorly sung. I gotta get my singing voice on before I go sing with Lisa in a few minutes. Dawn says, grateful for this positive start to the day. Christina says, the sexiest thing is self-confidence, so that can come in any shape or form. Totally. And really, if there's anything that I've been thinking a lot about lately is how, and talking about like the episode with Lisa that we talked so much about, recognizing that you and everyone else, we are not like an identity. We are a process of growing and stumbling and falling. And getting caught in our childlike stories and personalities and traumas, and then working through it and growing and stretching. And like, it's all of that. And the more that someone can be at peace with all of themselves, I think we find that sexy, we find that beautiful. And the more that you can do it in yourself, the more that you can recognize that in others and therefore have compassion for others. So I wish upon you increased self-love, increased acceptance and forgiveness of all that is you, celebration of the humanness of you, and the compassion and forgiveness and celebration of the humanness of everyone else. Heinen says, I'm grateful for trying my best. I've been trying to see where my fear and not letting me be present, part of this to go through. And with that, wherever you are, I encourage you to give yourself a big old squeeze, appreciating this body, this day, this moment, this group of people we've been able to touch in this moment during this day. Even if you're watching this recording, you are a part of this moment. We are connecting in that space beyond the physical and even time, that intentional space of hope and faith, of knowledge that if we are creating ripples of positivity, of love, of kindness, then we are on the right path. We are part of the medicine. So let's take a deep breath in and squeeze one another. On behalf of Grandpa Caleb and everybody here, thanks for being here. I love you. Have a beautiful Sunday.